Hi everyone. I think you will love this video. Please like and subscribe for more. Now, it's not hard to find the history of the Redquill gamefowl. Just Google it or read any gamefowl publication and you will eventually find it. It starts off like a fairy tale, long ago and far away in England. Then it goes on to describe Redquill and Redhorse and the Eastlands and the Winans and so on. It talks about black eyes and red eyes and how to tell what is pure and what is not. The only problem is that it's all a big joke. It's just a fairy tale. How do I know this? Because I wrote the history of the Redquills and submitted the article to the Gamecock in 1974. I did this as a practical joke to my father, who was oblivious to the whole affair. From 1974 to the 80s, I submitted articles to the Gamecock under the pen name Redquill Rooster. So how did this bogus article came to be? Well, my dad raised a few Redquill fowls, so-called Redquill fowl, that he purchased from Seth Thompson, someone that folks might remember, a breeder peddler who raised black shuffler fowl in West Fork, Arkansas. Now, these so-called Redquills were good, solid, red-breasted fowl with red eyes, and they were actually pretty good fowl. He wanted to add to his Redquill line, so he bought a broodcock from Charlie Ite of Natchez, Mississippi. Everyone knew Charlie and his dad, Sam, bred and fought OC Nation's Redquills for a very long time, and they were very successful with them. Circle Club and Sunset, both pure and crossed. Well, the broodcock arrived and my dad was just perplexed. The cock was bright orange, brown spangled breast, and bold black eye, typical Redquill color. He was so perplexed he almost boxed him up and returned him, but I convinced him not to. He had also purchased eggs from Dr. John Harper of Corsicana, Texas. And when these Redquill eggs hatched, the offspring grew to look identical to the Ite Redquills. Again, my dad insisted that Redquills were red-eyed and red-breast fowl. So as a joke, I decided to conjure up a history and send it to the Gamecock. They published it, and when we received our monthly copy of the Gamecock, I found it and proudly read it aloud to my dad, who had no clue that I had written this nonsense, and I never told him otherwise. This so-called history has endured for 50 years in magazines, books, and the internet. The real truth about the Redquills, I do not know. I know the Eastlands did raise a strain of fowl called Redhorse, and somehow the strain was crossed into the Winan fowl, which were supposedly a power fowl, which might have been Harrisford Brown Reds. Also, supposedly a Baltimore top-knot blue cock was bred into them. As for the rest of it, I don't believe anyone truly knows. But somehow the Redquills were put together, and they are definitely a grand old strain. Well, so now after 50 years, everyone is in on the joke. Again, as I said, no matter the history, they are certainly a grand old time strain that deserves its place in gamefowl history for their performance and their beauty.